Welcome to Brainish English Stories.
Of course he knew he had no chance. Not even a small one. The idea was silly. So silly that he would understand anything her father did. Really only because he felt so desperate. And because it was his last day in England. He found the courage to try. Even now. He took a tie from the drawer. It was blue and cream with checks. He sat on the edge of the bed. What if she said, "How rude"? Would he be surprised? No, not at all. He thought she would say something like that. If he looked at the situation clearly, what else could she say? He stood in front of the mirror. Nervously he tied his bow tie, pushed down his hair, and pulled the pockets of his jacket flat. He worked on a fruit farm in Rhodesia and made only £500 to £600 a year. He had no savings and no chance of earning more for years. He was not handsome. He was not even very healthy. A sickness in East Africa had made him so weak. He had to take 6 months off. He still looked very pale. Today worse than usual. He bent to look in the mirror. What? His hair looked green. No way. But then he saw it was just the tree's green shadow in the mirror. He turned away, took out his cigarette case but put it back. His mother didn't like smoking in the bedroom. No, he couldn't think of one good thing about himself. And she? He folded his arms and leaned on the drawers. She had everything. Her father was rich, she was an only child, and everyone loved her. She was beautiful and very smart. He believed she could do anything. Her parents adored her. They would never let her move far away. But even with all that he hoped. Was it hope? Or just a quiet wish to take care of her and give her everything she wanted? He loved her deeply. He whispered, "I love her, I love her." He dreamed they were traveling together at night. She was asleep beside him, her head on her soft collar. Then she woke and said, "Was I asleep?" And he replied, "Yes. Are you okay? Let me help." This sweet dream gave him courage. He ran downstairs, grabbed his hat and said, "Well, I can only try." But his luck was bad right away. His mother was walking in the garden with the 2 old dogs, Chinny and Biddy. Of course, Reggie loved his mother. She was strong and meant well. But she was not an easy mother. Before Uncle Alec died and left Reggie the fruit farm, he often felt that being the only son of a widow was the hardest thing in the world. She was all he had. She had stopped talking to her family and Reggie's father's family long ago. So when Reggie was far away in Africa, feeling lonely under the stars, listening to sad music, he could only think of his mother walking in the garden with the little dogs behind her. She saw him. "You're not going out, Reginald?" she asked. "I'll be back for tea, Mother," he said quietly, putting his hands in his pockets. Snip. She cut off a dead flower. Reggie jumped. "I thought you would stay with me on your last afternoon," she said. The dogs looked at him. Biddy lay down, hot and tired. Chinny looked upset and sniffed the air, as if everything smelled bad. Snip! Another flower head fell. The dogs felt the tension too. "And where are you going?" his mother asked. Reggie left quickly and didn't slow down until he was far from the house. Then he noticed what a beautiful afternoon it was. It had rained earlier, but now the sun was out. The road was wet and shiny. A warm drop of water fell on his hand, then another on his hat. The gardens looked lovely. Flowers glowed bright in the sun. Then, here it was, Colonel Proctor's house. Reggie reached the gate. Flower petals fell on his coat. He thought, wait, this is too fast. He wanted to think again. Slow down. But his hand pulled the bell. It rang loudly like an alarm. The housemaid opened the door at once, and he found himself in the quiet drawing room. The room was big and calm. Someone's umbrella lay on the piano. It made him feel strange, like waiting at the dentist. Then suddenly he said aloud, "Lord, you haven't helped me much." The door opened, and came in and smiled. "I'm so sorry. Father is out, and Mother is in town shopping for hats. It's just me today, Reggie." Reggie gasped, held his hat tightly and said, "I only came to say goodbye." "Oh," said Anne softly. She stepped back, her gray eyes shining. "Such a short visit." Then she looked at him and laughed. A soft, happy laugh. She walked to the piano and touched the tassel of her parasol. "I'm sorry," she said. "I laugh too much. I don't know why I do it. It's a bad habit." She stamped her foot and took out a handkerchief. "I must stop. It's silly." "And," cried Reggie, "I love your laugh. It's the best sound I know." But the truth was, they both knew, and always laughed when she was with Reggie. Even if they talked seriously, suddenly she would look at him, her lips would move, her eyes would sparkle, and she would laugh again. Reggie didn't understand why. And sometimes Anne didn't know either. He had seen her try not to laugh. But she couldn't stop. Now she put her handkerchief away. "Sit down," she said. "And please have a cigarette. There's a box next to you. I'll take one too." He lit her cigarette. As she leaned forward, the small flame shone on her pearl ring. "You're going tomorrow, aren't you?" asked Anne. "Yes, tomorrow," said Reggie, blowing out smoke. He felt so nervous. "It's hard to believe," he added. "Yes, very hard," said Anne. She leaned over the ashtray, her small fingers turning the cigarette. She looked so pretty, tiny in the big chair. Reggie's heart felt full. "I feel like you've been here forever," she said. Reggie took a long breath. "Going back feels terrible," he said. "Coo-coo-coo," came the sound of doves outside. "But you like it out there, don't you?" Anne asked. She touched her pearl necklace. "Father said last night you're lucky to have your own life." Reggie smiled, but it was a tired smile. "I don't feel lucky," he said. "Roo-coo-coo-coo," the doves called again. You mean you feel lonely, said Anne. It's not just that, said Reggie. He pressed his cigarette into the ashtray. It's the thought of. He stopped, feeling his face get hot. Roo-coo-coo, called the doves again, and stood up. Come say goodbye to my doves, she said. They're on the side veranda. You like doves, right, Reggie? Very much, said Reggie, opening the door for her. And laughed again, but at the doves this time. Two doves walked on red sand. One ran forward with a soft cry. The other followed, bowing again and again. See, said Anne. That's Mrs. Dove. She runs, laughs, and Mr. Dove follows, bowing. That's their whole life. They never stop. She gave them some yellow grain. When you think of Rhodesia, Reggie, remember, that's what they'll still be doing. Reggie didn't look at the doves. He didn't hear Anne's words. All he could feel was the strong, hard feeling inside his chest. He had to say something very important. And do you think you could ever love me? He asked. It was done. He had said it. Everything felt still. The garden was full of light, the sky blue, the leaves moving gently. Anne looked at the grains in her hand and touched them with her finger. Then she slowly closed her hand. No, she said softly. Never in that way. Reggie didn't even have time to feel sad before and walked quickly away. He followed her down the steps, through the garden, under pink roses, and across the green grass. There she turned to him. It's not that I don't care for you, she said. I do. But, her eyes opened wide. Not in the way one should love someone. Her lips opened and suddenly she laughed. There. You see, she said. Even now when things are serious, I look at your check tie, and it makes me laugh. It looks like the tie that cartoon cats wear. Oh, please forgive me, she cried. Reggie took her warm hand. No need to forgive, he said quickly. I think I know why you laugh. It's because you are so far above me. You're beautiful and smart, and I'm not. I must look funny next to you. No, Reggie, that's not true, Anne said, holding his hand tightly. You're better than I am. You're kind and good. I'm not like that. But that's not the problem. She shook her head. The real reason is, I could never marry a man I laugh at. The man I marry. She stopped. Her face changed. She smiled in a dreamy way, as if she saw someone else. A tall, strong, perfect man. A man from a movie or a play. A man who walks in and takes the girl with one look. Reggie understood. Yes, I see, he said quietly. Do you? Asked Anne. I hope you do. Feel so bad. It's hard to say all this. I've never, she smiled. Isn't it strange? Can say anything to you. I always could. She kept talking. I've never liked anyone as much as I like you. I've never felt this happy with someone. But it's not love. Not the kind they write about in books. She paused. We would be like Mr. and Mrs. Dove. That was the end for Reggie. Heard too much. Don't say more, he whispered, turning away. He looked across the lawn. The cottage was there, smoke rising from the chimney. Everything looked far away. His throat hurt. I must go now, he said. Button ran after him. No. You can't leave like this. It's okay, said Reggie, trying to smile. I'll be all right. This is terrible, said Anne. Don't you see? It would be so wrong if we got married. Yes, said Reggie. His face looked tired and sad, and looked upset. Just think, if we married and I didn't love you in that way. It would be like Mr. and Mrs. Dove. Exactly, said Reggie. She stopped him again and held his arm. Her eyes were full of tears. But why are you so sad? Why do you look so hurt? I can't help it, said Reggie. It's like being hit hard. I need to leave now. And looked angry. How can you leave like this? I need to know you'll be happy again. I can't let you go if you're sad. But Reggie didn't answer. He kissed her hand gently. Don't feel sorry for me, Anne, he said. Then he turned and walked quickly away. Roo-coo-coo-coo, came the sound of the doves. Reggie! Reggie! Anne called from the garden. He turned around. She looked at him and gave a small laugh. Come back, Mr. Dove, said Anne. And slowly, Reginald walked back across the lawn.